Hey guys, gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna be doing something that people have warned me against doing. Not because it's a truly awful idea, not because it's risky, but for the sake of my own sanity. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm about to watch the new Fantastic Four movie. Yeah. I'll be back with my thoughts on it after I'm done. Pray for me. I'll see you guys. Well, for you it's going to be in a few seconds. For me, it's going to be a long time. Why? Why did I do it? Oh. This was awful. Oh, wow. Man, I haven't seen a movie that bad in a while, and it's not even so bad it's good. You know, it doesn't even fall into that category of horrible but enjoyable. It was just bad. The biggest problem with this movie, nothing happens. I'm not even kidding here. Nothing happens. There's like 23 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of plot, stretched out to an hour 40. Hour 35 if you leave out the closing credits. There's about 5 minutes of closing credits here. The whole thing is an origin story, which is to be expected. The first movie is always an origin story. But they spend so long on them getting their powers that there's nothing left for story. There is no story here. I'm struggling to remember what the plot was. It's not even that it's nonsense. It's just not there. It's something about traveling to another dimension and they get given powers, and then Doom wants to destroy the Earth. That's the gist of it. There's a little bit of military intervention, but I'm not going to bother giving an outline. I can give you a highlight reel of stupid. A huge highlight reel of stupid. I have reams of notes on this god-awful movie. Wow, man. Let's start with the whole Reed Richards as child genius thing. I don't buy it for a second. However, I give the movie props. The kid they got for Reed Richards as a child does look like he could pass for Reed Richards as an adult. They look very similar. I can believe they're the same person is what I'm trying to say. Or they're supposed to be the same person. I can buy that. But the whole child genius thing just, it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel right. And it's you have Reed building a matter transporter in his garage, and he's trying to screw a screw with something that's not a screwdriver. I can't remember the fuck what. It doesn't matter. His new friend Ben Grimm hands him a screwdriver that he's pulled out of his pockets on the end of a pocket knife or something. He's like, "Here, use this. You're stripping the head." This kid is a genius. I mean, he's like a scientific, mathematical, engineering genius. And he doesn't know a thing about using the proper screwdriver, so he doesn't strip the head on a screw? Really? Come on. I don't buy that. Okay, I just don't. I mean, maybe it's realistic. I don't know. I don't buy it. What I also don't like is they have an origin story for Ben's for his fighting words. It's clobbering time. You don't need an origin story for its clobbering time. It's just something he says, and I don't know why you need an origin for it. He says it. Cool. But no, they give him an origin for it, and the origin story for that phrase is, it's what his older brother says when he smacks him. It just feels stupid. To me, it feels stupid. The first 5 minutes of this is set in the past, and it's just awful. They've been working on it for 10 years or something, or is it 7 years? They've been working on it for a while. And so for high school science project, they bring it in and they borrow some kids' little toy plane, and there's a bit of a light show, and it vanishes. Like, shit. That's really cool. Huh. The teacher who's judging this, unimpressed, calls it magic tricks. This is all about science. Where's the science here? And I'm just sitting there like, you saw the plane disappear. It was there, and then it wasn't. We can do big special effects, but there's no way to do those kinds of special effects in real time, in 3D, in front of you. What did you just see, man? I have no words. I really don't. I can only say this is fucking stupid so many times before it loses complete and all meaning. Anyway, Sue Storm and Franklin Storm, her father, I call him Papa Storm when I was typing out my notes. I didn't really give a shit what his name was. And that's sad because he's probably one of the two interesting characters in this entire movie. They come, they saw the experiment, they're like, you hold promise, we want to bring you over to our institute. Johnny Storm is here. Johnny is the best part of this entire movie from the second we see him. Like, yeah, that's Johnny Storm. I buy this. He has the attitude, he has the charisma, he oozes Johnny Storm. And honestly, if they did a reboot of this again, please let them do a reboot of this. Please and please let it be in Marvel's hands. I'm sorry, man. Marvel's the only people who might be able to do the Fantastic Four justice at this point. But I love to see Michael B. Jordan. I'd love to see this guy back in the role of Johnny Storm. He was phenomenal. I don't think we ever will, but I'd like to see it. So they bring him on because he's a genius too, apparently. And they bring in Victor Von Doom. Victor, who's been working on this project for 10 years before he left the project. Why did he leave? I don't know. They don't tell us. Maybe something to do with differing opinions or different philosophies. He's very much big on what humanity is doing to the earth, and so maybe had some environmentalist shtick going. I don't know. They don't tell us. They just tell us he left and he completely fucked over the servers when he did so. Okay. Thank you for that exposition. And so when you finally meet him, he's a shut-in. He hasn't shaved or cut his hair, looks like in weeks, if not months. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is how you introduce Victor Von Doom, huh? This is the supposed future leader of Latveria. Great. This instills confidence. This didn't instill confidence. And to top it all off, at the very least, when they show a brief glimpse of his bio, it says Latveria on it, as far as country of origin goes. And I will give them this. before the movie came out, there were rumors circulating that Victor Von Doom was going to be an internet hacker. I have no words for that. I really have no words to describe how awful I felt that sounded at the time, and how awful I still feel that it sounds. But, credit where it's due, if that had been an idea that they were considering, they scrapped it. I could get behind that. That's a good thing. So everyone's working on this big project, on building it. Eventually they do a demonstration for the military, because the military's funding it, obviously. Well, not obviously, but it makes sense. And the military says, okay, cool, we'll get our own guys over there. And everyone's all, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? We're the ones going over there. And so, Victor, Johnny, and Reed all get drunk. Sue is off with her father, probably trying to talk some sense into the military types. They get plastered and they decide, you know what? We're gonna go. Fuck those guys. We're gonna go tonight, right now. And so, Reed calls up his good friend Ben Grimm and says, Ben, you gotta come with us, man. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. You gotta come with us. And here we get to one of the dumbest parts of this movie. Sue doesn't even go with them. She's stuck at home. She doesn't even know they're going until they're coming back. Some shit happens on the planet. Victor upsets some energy source, and next thing you know, the planet's erupting. And so they're running back, and they're trying to get out. Victor gets supposedly killed, and by the way, his death was completely avoidable. I mean, they have a rope tethered to each other, and at one point they're trying to climb a rock face. He loses his grip. He's falling, and they're trying to catch him and hold on and pull him up. I'm thinking to myself, you're attached by fucking ropes. Ropes. Just pull him up with the fucking rope. When movies have their characters make stupid decisions for the sake of the plot, you have to want to find the writer and beat him up at least a little. At least hit him once with a stick. Not a twig, a stick, a hefty thing, like a branch or something. Fuck. And so they all get pelted with shit as they get into the pod and try to go back. Ben gets pelted with some sort of rocks. Johnny gets hit with some sort of fire. There's not even a good explanation for why they're getting hit with this stuff. It just happens. And so Sue, in the meantime, has noticed that they're not there, that they're gone. And so she's in the control room trying to help bring them back. And so when she does, she gets hit with some residual energy. That's how Sue gets her powers. Residual energy hits her. Fuck you. Both of them. As far as Reed, he gets hit with energy. She's trying to close the door. The door won't close. I think that's one of the reasons why they were having issues. I'm not entirely sure. It's all stupid. It's all fucking stupid. Eventually, they all wake up and they're all in pain. I mean, Johnny's on fucking fire. Ben is just a big pile of rocks. And they're being treated or something. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with them. But long story short, Reed runs. Reed is the only one to actually get out of his bindings, because he's strapped to a table with his arms stretched out. And again, It's one of those moments where I give the movie credit. The effects are really fucking good. I mean, his arms outstretched looked real. So props to them for that. I like that. I like when stuff looks good. And it looked good. I mean, this is a good looking movie. Overall, this is a really good looking movie. To a degree. We'll get to that afterwards. So Reed finds Ben, and he promises Ben, "I'll come back for you," and then just fucking runs. Doesn't want to have the military find him. Doesn't want anything to do with this shit. Just runs. And then a year passes. Yeah, a year passes. I don't know what the fuck these people were doing for a year. Johnny looks like they're all training. I'm not saying Johnny's the one who's training. They're all training to get better control of their powers. Johnny is really putting his back into it. Ben is being sent out on military missions of some sort. We're never told what. We're never shown what. We just know it's happening. They eventually decide that they need to find Reed to help each other out and maybe fix what happened to them. And plus, he's the one to get the fucking interdimensional thingamajigger to work properly. So they eventually decide, okay, we need to find him. And they let Sue try because Sue can see the patterns, apparently. I mean, you've got the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, their best and brightest working on trying to find him. But they're just not looking for the patterns. It doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of this movie, by the way. So they eventually find him. They bring him in, and there's tension because Reed did leave them. And so he helps them fix the thing because he figures, maybe this is a way I can help my friends. I can help change Ben back to normal. So they get it working again, and they send some scientists over, and while the scientists are gathering samples, which is what they should have been doing in the first place a year ago. That's one of the things I had an issue with. Instead of just being there, proving they were there, proving they could go and gathering samples, they explore, and that's where all the bullshit started happening. Beside the point. Back on track. While these scientists are gathering samples, they see a figure walking towards them. Holy shit, it's Dr. Doom! It's Victor Von Doom coming towards them. Not very good shape either. He's all metallic and stuff. Yeah, he's made of metal now. Well, he's not made of metal. What happened, according to the movie, is that his suit, the energy, melded the suit to him, and now him and the suit are one. So he's now a walking environmental suit, basically. He looks like Destro. Okay? He looks like a more techified version of Destro. There's no Victor Von Doom here. There was never any Victor Von Doom here. There was only arrogance. Yeah, that's pretty much, I want to say impatience, but really all there is arrogance and genius. That's the other one I was looking for. Arrogance and genius, which, yes, are personality traits of Victor Von Doom. But there's more to him than that. But here, that's all there was. So he comes back, and he eventually breaks free while they're running tests and whatnot. And he decides that he's going to return back to Dimension Zero, is what they're calling it. I think that's what they called it. He's going to go back there. He's going to go back because humanity has completely destroyed this world. They've ruined their chances. So he's going to go back to that other dimension. He's going to open this rift wide enough to create a huge black hole that will suck the Earth in. And when Earth gets sucked through it, it's going to be turned into energy to make this planet, this dimension, even more powerful, and he'll turn it into his own world where he can rule and something. I'm really not sure what he was going for at that point. And it's just, what? You're Victor Von Doom. Look, maybe he didn't start out as the leader, ruler, despot maybe, of Latveria, but he gets there somehow. And the Victor I see here does not want to rule Latveria. He just wants to rule this dimension. Fuck the people of Latveria. And here's the thing about Victor Von Doom. He may be a raging asshole with a superiority complex, okay? He's a master of magic. He's a master of technology. He's a fucking genius. But he wants to do what's right by his people. That's the impression I've always gotten, is that Doom wants what's best for Latveria. This Doom wants what's best for Doom. And for this other dimension. This never felt like Doom. This still doesn't feel like Doom. And when he dies, which he does, at least we're led to assume he does, he still doesn't feel like Doom. This movie fails on so many levels, it's not even funny. So, Doom decides he's going to go back, so as he makes his way there, he kills just about everyone in his way, and it's very much like watching the movie Akira. Because all he does is look at somebody, and their head explodes. And it's ridiculous. And actually, it's kind of unnecessary, but whatever, shock value, I guess, right? He's evil, so he has to make people's heads explode. He eventually kills Papa Storm, which sucked, because I'm like, I liked him. He was cool. So, of course, you gotta kill one of the two interesting characters in the entire fucking movie. And then he goes through the dimensional portal, and Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Ben decide we have to go after him. We're the only ones who can stop him because we have these powers. And they go through, and they stop him. And at the end of the movie, they're given their father's old research facility as thanks for doing what they did, where they can, do research and study and do whatever it is scientists do. And at the end, they come up with a name for themselves. It's a really hokey scene that didn't need to be there. And movie ends, close credits, no post-credit sequence, not surprising, movie did so poorly. I'm glossing over quite a bit at the end because it doesn't matter. This movie was a waste of my time. And if you decide to watch it, you'll probably agree it was a waste of yours too. One of my biggest complaints about this movie, and I have a few really huge complaints if you haven't noticed. One of my biggest complaints is these people don't act like a team until the very, very, very end. They don't band together as a team until the last 10 minutes. And it's ridiculous. They work together for the last 5 minutes of this movie. Wow, it's painful, man. It's really painful. They decide to go through as a team, but they're not working together as a team until they realize one-on-one we can't fight Doom. We can't do anything. But if we work together, our powers combined, if you will. And I'm watching it, I'm like, so the last 5 minutes is the only spot in this entire thing where we see them working as a team with their powers. Thanks? The whole movie was just them training just for this one spot. It's just It's awful. And such a drab and dour movie. Oh, man. I mean, there are no bright colors. None. It's so realistic and down to earth or whatever. I don't fucking know. I remember watching it. I'm thinking, where are the colors? It's like watching when we first started to introduce proper HD video games. There were a lot of grays and blacks and browns, and it was all drab. And that's what this felt like. There were a lot of dark colors. And I'm thinking to myself, this isn't Batman. This is the Fantastic Four. The patriarch is called Mr. Fantastic. And he's basically Stretch Armstrong. You have someone whose nickname is the Invisible Woman, who can turn herself invisible and create force fields. You have one guy who's basically big walking pile of rocks, and another guy who turns into living flame. There's no sense of fun. There's no sense of humor. There's just nothing. There's no personality in this movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Again, I've said that a couple of times, but I say it again, it's an hour and 40 minutes. Hour and 35 of which is actual movie. The last 5-6 minutes of this movie is closing credits. I know, I timed it, I checked. And it's ridiculous how little happens in this movie. And what's also ridiculous is that for a superhero movie, there is no sense of a proper antagonist. I mean, you know Victor Von Doom is going to be one, but he's MIA for most of the fucking movie. It's on to the last 15 minutes or so of the movie that we see, okay, hey, that's Doom, and yeah, he's the bad guy. Yeah, now I thought, hey, maybe the military was the bad guy. No, military wasn't the bad guy. Doom's the bad guy. We knew this. Just unfortunately, he was not the bad guy for very long. We could tell he was going to become the bad guy. But it was just a matter of waiting for it. Because while he's an arrogant shithead, he's never really the antagonist. We can tell he's going to become that. But he's never really quite there. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Be completely honest with you. I watched this on Netflix. I gave it 1 star. I would rather, again, watch the ones with Jessica Alba and all of them, Chris Evans. I'd rather watch those movies again than this movie one more time. Because this is not the Fantastic Four. They're barely a four. They don't work together until the last 5 minutes of the fucking movie. Sorry, I don't mean to harp, but for a superhero movie, there's very, very little superheroing going on. The fact that Sue was completely left out of the trip to the other dimension to get where they get their powers in the first place is just mind-bogglingly awful. The whole thing is just a waste of your fucking time. Waste of my fucking time. And I sat through it. You know how boring this movie was? I almost fell asleep a few times. That's how little happens in here. I remember very vividly dozing off and then rewinding to make sure I didn't miss anything. Which I didn't. It's poorly written. And here's the worst part about this movie. Here's where it's disappointing to a degree. The movie isn't badly made. It's well shot. The effects are great. The acting is serviceable, if not oftentimes bland. The exception of, again, Johnny Storm and Papa Storm. They're actually quite charismatic, especially Johnny. Especially Michael B. Jordan, who plays Johnny. He's fantastic in that role. And I don't know if it's the director or the studio, because if you listen to the director, There was a really good movie, but, you know, because the studio demanded certain cuts be made and some stuff refilmed or something, but we got what we got. And what we got was pure dog shit. And the more I think about it, if the plot remains exactly the same as what it is, I don't know how a better movie could have come out of this. I have no clue how. That's the problem. That's a huge issue I have. This movie is just awful. From start to finish, it's bad. Don't see this. If you're curious about it, do yourself a favor. Don't watch it. Pass it by in Netflix. You can't get the time back that you got watching. I can't get that time back. I want that time back. Don't do it. Just don't. Go watch the Michael Bay Transformers movies. At least shit happens. They may not make sense, but at least shit happens in those. Okay? Watch the Michael Bay produced TMNT. Watch his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one. It wasn't very good, but shit happens. There's action. There's so many better films you could watch on Netflix. So many films that I'm sure are so bad they're good on Netflix. This isn't one of those. I can't recommend this for any reason whatsoever. It's just awful. Now, as a special treat to you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to in the more info section below, you can find the notes I took while I was watching this movie. If you've seen it, you might be able to follow the plot or where I was in the plot when I wrote this stuff down. But you can see exactly what was going through my mind while I was watching this on Netflix. Just a treat. Hope you like it. Hope you find it insightful, or at the very least entertaining. Oh, wow, this was so bad. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I'll see you at the next one. Good night, everybody.